As a small business owner, your most important asset is your time. So here's some of my top tips to help you save a bit of time whilst staying organised using some of Google's tools. The following tips are all using Google Suite's free version, and my first 3 tips are to do with being organised when it comes to your expenses and year-end tax return. If you usually leave it until the last minute to sort out all your receipts, then you're going to love this first tip. Download the Google Drive app onto your mobile and use it to scan your receipts as soon as you get them. Simply click into Google Drive and press the big plus symbol at the bottom of the screen. Then choose Scan. Capture the receipt to your phone, press the tick to move on to the editing options or cross to take the scan again. You then have the options at the top of the screen to crop it, choose whether you want colour or black and white, and you can also click on the 3 dots in the top right corner where you can delete it, rename the scan, rotate the page and go into your settings. Click the tick in the bottom right corner of the screen and give it a name. I recommend including the name of the receipt and the date in the actual name of the file. Then choose which folder you want to save it to, or you can create a new folder if you wish. Once you're happy it's in the right folder, click Save at the bottom. You can then share the folder with your accountant or bookkeeper when it comes to year end, and they'll be so impressed by how organised you are. Staying with Google Drive, and just to elaborate a bit more on the folders that will contain your receipts, the system I use for my own expenses is to have one main folder called Expenses, which you can see here, and then I create 12 new folders within the Expenses folder, one for each month of the year. So to quickly create a new folder, use the keyboard shortcut Shift and F, and then give the folder a name. So I give them the month names, but I include the number at the start of the name, that way they'll stay in month order rather than alphabetical. Then I give each folder a colour. This is just because I like to do this, obviously you don't have to. To apply a colour, just right click on the folder, then go down to change colour and choose whichever colour you prefer for each folder. And now the folders are all ready for whenever you scan any receipts in. Simply choose the relevant month folder to save them to. Having them all under the one main folder of expenses also means that I can share that one folder with my accountant and they'll have access to everything in there. And job done. Moving on to my next tip, and again it's keeping with the accounts theme but in Gmail this time. And it's to create labels to store any expenses and accountant related emails. So I would have a label called Expenses and I'd move any emails that are purchases or subscription updates into that label. To create a new label, simply click on the plus symbol next to where it says Labels on the left hand side here, and then give it a name. And then just click Create. Once created, the label will sit over here on the left hand side, and you can move any emails that are currently in your inbox over to that label if you want to. If you have more than one email to move, then just click on the box next to the emails that you want to move, and you can either drag and drop them to the label, or you can click on the Move To icon at the top of the page here and choose the label that way, and job done. Another tip is to create a filter. So filters are when you create rules to have emails go directly to a specific label, or you can have them automatically deleted or marked as read. You create filters based on a variety of criteria, such as the sender, the subject, or even if the main body of the message contains certain words. So staying with the accountant example, you could set up a filter so any emails from your accountant automatically go straight into their own label without cluttering your inbox. Now there's 3 ways to set up a filter. The first way is to create one straight from an email already in your inbox. So you can either select the email by clicking on the checkbox next to the email you want to filter, or you can go into the email itself. It doesn't matter which way you do it. All you need to do is click on the 3 dots at the top of the page here and click on Filter Messages like these. So this opens up the search options, and you can see the email address has automatically been filled in here in the From section, and you can now add any other criteria to this section if you want to. Once you're ready, click on Create Filter, and this is where you select the actions you want the filter to perform. So we would want it to skip the inbox completely and automatically go into its own label. So you tick the box, apply the label, then choose the label you want it to go into. And then, once you're happy, click Create Filter. The second way of creating a filter is by using the search box at the top of the screen. So click on the icon over on the right to it to open up the search options. And here is where you would put in the email address of your accountant or whoever you want to set the filter up for. Then click Create Filter and follow the steps as before. To edit or delete a filter, click on the cog in the top right corner, then click See All Settings. Then click on Filters and Blocked Addresses here across the top, and this will list all your current filters that you've got set up at the moment. You can see the bottom one here is the one that we've just set up. If you want to edit or delete any of the filters, just click over on the right hand side here on Edit or Delete, whichever filter you want to change. And you remember I said there's 3 ways to set up a filter? Well, this is the 3rd way. Just click on Create a New Filter at the bottom here and follow the same steps as before. So we'll just test what happens when an email comes in that has a filter with it. So you can see here that when an email comes in from the address that we've just set the filter up for, it's skipped the inbox completely and it's gone straight to the label that we asked it to. You can see a number next to this label that tells you how many emails are there that are unread. I use filters all the time as it's one way of keeping my emails in my inbox to a bare minimum. So moving on to my next tip, and it's a bit of a strange one for me because I don't actually use this myself, but I can understand how it would save you time if you wanted to go through your emails this way. And it's using something called the Auto Advance feature. This allows you to automatically move to the next email once you've archived, muted, or deleted the one you're currently in. It means you don't keep going back to your inbox in between emails. If you want to use this, you need to enable it first. So click on the cog in the top right corner, then click See All Settings. Go to the Advanced tab over on the right here, and on the first section, Auto Advance, make sure that says Enabled. Next, you need to go to the General tab over here on the left and scroll down to the Auto Advance section, which is here. So after you've deleted, muted, or archived an email, you can decide whether you want to go straight to the next conversation, as in the next email, or go to the previous one, or go back to the thread list. So I'm just going to choose Go to the next conversation, just so you can see what happens. Once you've made your choice, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Save Changes. So what does this mean exactly? Well, let's take this email here. Let's say I've dealt with it and I just need to archive it. So I can either click on the archive button here in the top, or I can use the keyboard shortcut E to archive. And you can see instead of taking me back to the inbox, it's automatically taken me to the next email in my inbox. And that's what Auto Advance does. As I said, it is a good feature and it will save you time if that's how you work in your emails. But personally, I just can't get on with it at all, so I don't use it. But everybody's different and it's up to you to find the best way that suits you when working with Gmail. Right, we're going to leave Gmail now and move on to my next tip, which is voice to text. Now you may be thinking that voice to text is no new thing and you might have been using it for a while already in Google Docs, but did you know you can use it in Google Keep? Simply go into Google's Keep Notes on your mobile and you can either click straight on the microphone icon at the bottom of the screen and start talking, and it will automatically add this as a new note. You can start a new note or list first by clicking the checklist tick in the bottom left corner. Then give your checklist a title. Click the plus in the square icon in the bottom left corner and choose recording. This will then do the voice to text this way and it will put it into the new note. And once you're done, it keeps all the recordings in the relevant Keep Notes so you can refer to them later if needed. The recordings are available both on your phone and also on the PC, but you need to open the main Keep page in your browser to access them. You can't see them if you access Keep in the side panel. It's ideal for when you want to take notes on the go, and I often use it myself when I'm out walking the dog. Staying with Google Keep, and you've got the option of setting reminders for your lists and notes. You can set reminders from the app on your phone or in this main Keep page in your browser, but unfortunately you can't set reminders when using Keep in the side panel. So these reminders can be set for specific dates and times or even location based, which is really handy. So if you want to set a reminder, just click on the bell in the bottom of the note here. And let's say, for example, you've got a meeting with a client. If you click on Select Place here, enter the address of where the meeting is, and when you arrive there, Google will send you a notification of this particular note. How handy is that? So there's a few different ways of using the apps in Google Suite to help you keep organized and save time in your business. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite one. Going back to the expenses and accounts related tips, if you want to create a simple sales and expenses sheet for your small business, you might like to watch this video next, where I share the process of creating a very simple one in Google Sheets, and you can even download it afterwards yourself. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.